Hi guys, and welcome to the WP Primer plugin. Thought it'd be particularly useful to do a very brief set of videos just to demonstrate exactly what the plugin is, how you used it, give you a bit of background about why it was developed, and hopefully you'll see the potential of what you could actually do utilizing the two plugins. That being said, let me tell you a bit more about WP Primer. Okay, so I want you to think about how long it actually takes you to develop a SERP Shaker site. Now, we're all great fans of it. We know it's probably the best local page builder out there, but the reality is it does take time to set up and configure sites. And think about the aspects of what's contained in those sites. So, for example, I'm very big on AdSense at the moment. So there's a lot of factors I need to consider. I need to put on a terms of use page, earnings disclaimer. I need to configure my permalinks, the tag base, and all these things can actually take a lot of time. So I thought, well, how can I actually mitigate some of this time and actually, cut down the development process? And this is the thinking behind the WP Primer series, the WP Primer and the WP Prime Fresh plugin. So let me take you to the plugin and I can demonstrate exactly how I use it. So WP Primer, what does it do? Well, I currently build on a VPS. The reason being, it's very fast. I usually knock out about 47,000 posts in about 35 to 47 minutes depending on the time of day. So I have one main configuration which I constantly use. So this is where the primer comes in quite useful. So for example, I would go and buy a domain, and obviously I'd put that onto my hosting, and then what I would literally do is configure that domain very quickly, ready for me to build a SERP Shaker site on there. So what I would quickly do is I would literally go through, tick the elements which I need. So for example, I usually delete the posts or pages, comments. I usually uncheck the create contact page, and I also usually uncheck the about page as well. I usually keep my permalink set to the default. I usually keep my category base set to locations and my tag base set to directory. If I choose to, I can quickly name the blog based on the domain name that I chose. I usually uncheck create a page. I enter the email, which is default based on my current configuration, and I enter the tagline for the actual blog, and then that's it. Literally I click start, and as you can see that all the posts have been deleted. If we go through the relevant sections, so let's have a look. It would be in settings, my title set, my email set, go to permalinks. All my permalinks are set, the category base is set, tag base is set, and that took all of a few seconds. So that in a nutshell is how I quickly prime my fresh WordPress blog for development. Okay, so my WordPress blog is fresh and ready for new development. I'd like to quickly just take you on to the next step, which is Prime. So Prime has 5 distinct functions. We have the first one, which is master reset. Now this is what I call the get out of jail card. Now you use this if you want to completely reset your blog back to the factory default. And in order to use that, all you do is type in here reset. Now bear in mind that will delete everything, so use this with caution. So the next elements are prime fresh, partial reset, and export. Now this has three distinct elements. The first one is empty tables. Now this will literally empty all the posts from a previous shaker development. However, what it will do is keep all your shortcodes. So your dynamic shortcodes, your closing shortcodes, your geographical shortcodes. In fact, it would actually even keep all your settings from Platinum SEO as well. So there's no need to revisit that. So in addition, so all your permalinks would still be the same. So basically a huge time saver. The next one is export and empty. So for example, if I built a site and basically I liked the template, wanted to keep it, but wanted to refresh my blog for a new development, this is where I'd use that function. So what you'd literally do is to click the checkbox and then click proceed, and that would actually empty out the shaker page, export it to your download folder, and it will clear all your posts. The next section is actually called export and empty. Now this is a brilliant function because what it does, it actually exports the shaker page, sends it to your download folder, but then it allows you to actually import that same shaker page back into your WordPress blog. So you may ask, well, why would I want to do that? So say for example, I had a shaker page that was absolutely brilliant, and I was using it and I was really dominating the SERPs. Now what I would do is I would literally export that shaker page so I can keep it, because obviously it's very important, and then re-import it. So that means I wouldn't have to mess with any of the shortcodes, any of the Platinum SEO settings, any of the permalinks, and I would have that shaker page back in. So basically you would have a fresh blog but with the previous shaker page. Again, what you could do then is go in, tweak the shaker page, make it slightly different, and then build another shaker site. This is saving you countless minutes, maybe hours, in terms of your actual development. The final function here is actually called Prime Fresh. Now Prime Fresh, this is a great function if you want to actually clear your blog, but you want to re-import a new shaker page that you've developed previously. So say for example, if I did a shaker page on hardwood flooring, and I've finished, I've deployed the site, then I may want to do another different niche. So what I would do is I would literally use this function to clear out the current shaker and then import a previous shaker that I was done before. So let me show you some practical examples and show you exactly how I use it. Okay, so I've just built my site. Imagine it has 40,000 posts, whatever the amount is, and I've deployed it. So basically what I would do is go to my settings, my tools I should say. I would go to Prime Fresh. Now here I've got two choices. If I wanted to get rid of the site completely, I would just click empty tables and then click proceed. If I wanted to export the current development and clear the site, then I'd click export and empty tables. or if I wanted to actually export empty the tables and re-import that page back into my development so I could build another page, I would click the third option, which is here, export empty tables and import existing XML. So for this example, I'm going to actually export an empty tables. So what you would do is click the radio button there, click proceed. That's done. So if you have a look, what you notice, all your posts have gone. If you notice here, it's actually exported the XML to my download folder. But if you notice, if I take you to these shortcodes, all my shortcodes, all my geographical shortcodes are still there. All my dynamic spawn shortcodes are still there, so no need to re-enter that. And actually, what's really important is all my SEO settings are still there. So as you can see, my post title still configured to exactly how I wanted it. But let's have a look. It's actually deleted the shaker page. So in this example, what I've shown you to do is how to actually export the XML and refresh the site. Let me show you the next option. So imagine again that I've built a massive shaker site, but I really love this template because it's really dominating the SERPs. So I want to continue using that because obviously I want the top 10 spots on Google. So how would you use PrimeFresh in this instance? So what you would do is you would go to Tools, you would go to Export and Empty Tables and Import Existing XML. Like I said before, what this is going to do is going to refresh your blog. It's going to delete all the previous old posts, but it's going to re-import that same shaker page back into your blog. So you're going to have a fresh blog with the same shaker where you can actually go back in, tweak the content, and then redeploy again. So let's see this in action. Okay, that's done. So let's have a look. If you notice, all the posts have gone. If you notice, all the shortcodes are still there. All the dynamic shortcodes are still there. But look at the difference here. What you still have is that original shaker page where you can actually go in, edit it, redeploy it, and then obviously build another site. Okay, so the final example. So imagine you've built another wonderful site, 40,000 plus posts, but actually you want to move on to a different niche. So you want to reset the site, but you don't want to mess about with shortcodes or anything like that. But you want to start a different site in a different niche. This is where the final function comes into play. So what you would do, again for demonstration purposes, there's only 10 posts here, but just imagine it's 40,000. You'd go to Tools, you go to PrimeFresh. What you would do is use this option, which is PrimeFresh, partial reset and import. What you would do is choose your different shaker page. So say for example, I'm going to go with this one, which is about hardwood flooring. Click upload, select your existing user, click submit, and that's it. So what's the difference here now? Again, you will see all the posts have been deleted, so it's a fresh site. Again, you will see that all the short codes are still there. And again, that's the same for the dynamic short codes and also the SEO settings. But the difference here is what you've actually got is a fresh site with a completely different shaker page, which means again you could go in, edit the content, and redeploy the site. Now, if you're thinking along the same lines as me, you can see that this plugin has immense value. In a nutshell, what I've literally given you is the college lead gen, lead gadget type application on a seriously low budget. Obviously, that comes at a with a heavy premium every single month. The ability to develop sites quickly and efficiently. The ability to redeploy sites quickly and efficiently. And what you're getting here is basically the same functionality in essence, but at a fraction of the cost. So I hope you've enjoyed the brief demonstration, and I hope you get a lot of value out of using the plugin. Let me know how you get on. Drop me a line via email, or obviously I'm on the forum as well. You take care, guys. All right, bye bye.